As a freelance, surviving in a suppressive and unfriendly media environment can be worse than death, mostly in Africa, where press freedom is far-fetched and corruption is quite handy. The government and few politicians control and run the media industry. Editorial policies are designed to propagate, defend, and protect their interests as they flourish in stolen public fund. Bringing them to justice has always been a disaster, and this is how it all started. My name is KK and I am a freelance. My investigations have been responsible for the trial and prosecution of several high-profile politicians, from the electricity scandal to illegal oil theft and embezzlement of public fund. This has shown me a target, but as an underdog, I will always navigate to safety. Most of the mainstream media no longer buy my stories for the fear of the government shutting them out of business. But as the watchdog, I keep nosing and raking for scoops, and so came the boom. Seated in front of my computer, in the dead of the night, I was monitoring developing stories, and so came a strange call from a strange caller with a private number. He claims to be a reliable news source with vital information that will lead to a big story. The desire of every newsman, with no name, no cell phone number, no contact point. This ghost caller insisted on staying anonymous. Besides, ethically, it is my responsibility to protect my source. Although I am known for big stories, and this might just be one of such, but not from a pseudo-identity. I don't do guerrilla journalism, so I insisted. No identity, no service. And so came a frightened bang on my door. Frightened to the bone, I approached the door gently, inquired who it was, but no response. I opened quietly, looked into the looming darkness, but just on the floor before me was an envelope. An envelope right in front of my door. I picked it up and rushed inside. What could this be and why? I inquired as I opened the door. Damn. Unbelievable. Classified federal information from the Defense Ministry, failed contracts, illegal arms supply chains, military pension fund frauds, official lists, ranks, and service numbers of thousands of dead soldiers and prisoners of war held hostage by terrorist groups. But strangely, is the fact that these informations are not in public domain. My heart pounded fast, and my thoughts I can no longer control. I needed a big story, but this is beyond the big story. This is a national disaster. It's 10 a.m. in the morning. The day is far gone. I slowly woke up from sleep, and my horrific nightmare is still here with me. Right before me. I had to call my friend Kwame, an IT expert, to assist in tracking this unknown caller, this ghost caller, his location and everything possible. Kwame requested we hook up in the evening, so I took some time off to think.
The motives behind the incident. He said the families of the late students have been notified. DSP Nnamdi Omoni stated that weapons were recovered from the suspects. Meanwhile, one of the suspects, Friday Akpan, who spoke to newsmen, said they abducted the victim, Joy Adoki, Nelson Wafo, and Fortune Ubimba on the order of their gang leader bride. The suspects during his...
How do I handle this situation? I am now in possession of classified federal documents, but of public interest. Constitutionally, it is the public's right to know that those they think are still alive are all dead, that the figure the government puts out there are all false, and the public needs to know. The dead soldiers, unaccounted for by the government, are people's father, brother, husbands, uncles, but unknown to them, they are no more, and they shall see them no more. Over $10 billion budgeted for arms procurement was a scam, which means the country has no arms to protect her territorial borders from external aggression and invasion. Retired officers and veterans of war are not being paid their pensions as are when due, with too many ghost names on the vouchers. This is huge. The entire defense ministry, the defense chiefs and senior officers will be indicted in this. The country will go bizarre if this information gets out there, and it will undermine the security of the nation. An offense likened to felony to whoever pulls this. Besides, a lot of these officers cannot be tried due to one immunity or the other, and the protection being offered them by the presidency. Boy, I am obviously trapped between national interest and public interest. The public have the right to know and hold the government accountable, but I may go to jail. I may risk going behind bars for undermining the security of the nation if this gets out there. It's time to meet with Kwame, so I drove off. Kwame joins me in my car with his laptop computer and begins to track the caller. He confirms the caller changed his VPN, which enabled him to change his call location, but tracking him is not a cakewalk. The ghost caller can only be accessed and tracked if the caller had his GPS location on while calling. Tired of the whole tech jargon, I had to drive home in expectant of a miracle call from Kwame, just in case of any breakthrough, and if he succeeds. And so I go home to discover something was wrong. I remembered locking my door before leaving the house, but my door is now open before me. What may have gone wrong? Who opened my door? So I gently walked inside, and to my shock, my apartment has been invaded. Everything is turned upside down. Still in a confused state of mind, my phone rings, and there's a call from Kwame. What could he have discovered?
Hey KK, I just got it. The call you got last night came in from the Defense Ministry. They changed the VPN which altered the data, but from the last call I tracked to the same line. Charlie, the caller location can be tracked to your resident. That means the caller is in the same place with you. Both of you share the same coordinates on my GPS. The caller is in the same location with you right now in your apartment.
And so I ran for my life. Who could this pseudo identity be from the Defense Ministry? And why is he after me? It's what I don't know, but time will tell.